of Shriram Finance to take some questions. Thank you very much for joining in. This is Reema here. You've had some time to go over the impact of the recent, the recent development by Reserve Bank of India on risk weights. Can you now tell us how much of your portfolio is affected, impacted, and what does it do to your cost of funds?
Yeah, by and large, the RBI's focus was on unsecured personal loan kind of lending, which in our portfolio is only 4%. And we had we had our guidance in the past that we limit it to only 5%. So it will be within that 5%. So I don't really see a big challenge here for us as a company. And I think, and overall cost impact, we are looking at the various banks' new set of cost increase. But I think it should not really matter much because as of now, direct bank lending to us is only 25% of our book. So to that extent, there will be a small increase. And our estimation is it should be around 78 basis point on the balance sheet.
Okay, got that. Around 78 basis points in terms of an impact. Mr. Revankar, thanks a lot for joining us. Let's also talk about the rest of your business now, which is, you had earlier guided for an AUM growth of around 18 to 20%. Could you just break this up for us? Tell us where do you think a majority of this growth is really likely to come through?
The growth is expected all round because I would like to highlight here is that the rural demand has picked up substantially in this quarter, especially October, November, December. Normally, the rural demand comes in this month because of the agri output and the cash in hand with them. In fact, I would like to say that we've done 240,000 units of two-wheeler financing in 1 month. That is November month. And for the quarter, we estimate that we can do more than 500,000. So the two-wheeler demand increase in the rural is the indication that rural demand is likely to be very good. And the urban demand and the infrastructure-related demand is continuing. And we also see good amount of transportation in the e-commerce last mile reach. So overall, I feel there is a good demand. Even in the passenger vehicle, we see a very healthy demand across, whether it is local transportation or tourism or personal transportation.
So you're saying you financed, two-wheeler units to the tune of 2.4 lakh in 1 month, in the month of November, and for this whole quarter of October to December, that number will be 5 lakh units. What does it compare with? What were the previous peaks? And, when we went through a rough rural demand period, how low did that number drop to?
Like to like, when we compare, it is 25% more than the previous year. But however, this year, since we are a merged entity and having a larger network, that also has helped us to grow. So we have grown beyond the industry growth because of the reach and merger synergy.
Okay. So one more question. You said the cost of funds increase will be about 78 basis points on your balance sheet. How have you arrived at that number?
7 to 8, sorry.
Oh, 7 to 8. Okay, it just seemed on the higher side. So I just wanted to know how you arrived at that number. Got it. 7 to 8 basis points makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, got that. Also talk to us about the gold loans and the way that they've grown, because I'm seeing almost 8% kind of growth sequentially in the gold loans. So what do you think you can expect to end the year with just for this segment?
See, gold loan is something which we are expecting much bigger growth. We are building the infrastructure now. See, what is happening is the gold loan in earlier erstwhile Shriram Transport Finance branch, we are trying to add that product there. And around 500 branches have been activated. And we had actually identified around 800. Because you need to be within the residential area and we should be in the first floor and ground floor for offering the gold loan. So we are readying our network. Here in the gold loan expansion, the network and reach is very, very important for us. Apart from having the staff, the trained staff. So we are doing everything. We have already recruited In fact, the last 1 year, we have recruited around 15,000 new employees in the system for overall growth. So they're all being trained, and for gold loan, we'll be having a lot of focus. I should say, gold loan, we should be able to grow around 20% year on year.
So gold loan is growing at 20%. There is a renewed pickup in the rural demand, growing at 25% on a year-on-year basis. Do you think there is upside to your AUM guidance of 18 to 20% now for the full year?
No, I should say we'll stick to 18 to 20 as of now, because you have seen in last 1 week there has been a lot of discussion, debate on increase in cost of fund and even bank flow into the NBFC. So we would like to keep it at 18 to 20. And the gold loan and two-wheeler form a smaller portion in our overall AUM. So the two-wheeler is around 6% of my portfolio, and gold loan is 3% of my portfolio. So rest are the commercial vehicle and passenger vehicle. However, we are witnessing growth and demand in all this segment.
So CV segment financing is still, CV segment growth is still a bit muted, right? Can you tell us how financing has been in the current quarter?
Yeah, the financing has been good. You are right that the year-on-year, if you look at the number on November month sales, it is muted. And we feel that currently, because infrastructure spend is reasonably good, the demand is mostly from the heavy vehicle. The LCV demand is yet to come up to the expected level. I still feel there is a huge scope and opportunity. As the rural demand and rural transportation increases, the demand for the LCV will improve. So overall, we see a good double-digit growth in the commercial vehicle credit.
Okay, got that. Mr. Revankar, thanks a lot for joining us today. We'll have to leave it at that, but we do hope to touch base with you soon again and talk more about the business. Thanks for taking out the time today. That is the management of Shriram Finance. They're telling us that they're seeing very strong business as far as the AUM growth goes, both in two-wheeler financing, in gold loans as well. And in terms of the impact, because of the higher risk weights by the RBI, it should be a 7 to 8 basis point kind of impact. We're going to get into a short break.